Welcome back to the AMFisH video fishing blog. I'm Georgopoulos, your host. This video is going to be about a little tip I actually picked up from watching Bob Azumi as a kid growing up, and I follow this rule, and I'm going to try and demonstrate it with a thicker piece of rope that I have here and just a carabiner. So this blog is where do you tie onto an O-ring. So let's just pretend this blue carabiner that I have here is the actual bait, and that little ring there that I'm shaking around is the O-ring on the bait. Again, just as a big example, because if I was to try and do this in front of a camera with an actual smaller bait that I have with me, it may not look exactly the same. But this looks exactly as an O-ring would look. Let's see if I can get this in the camera here without taking too much of the light away. And an O-ring does have that opening, so you can open that as well like that. So it does resemble an O-ring. So what I'm going to do with this is, you'll see the O-ring, most of it is solid, and then you will have the points where you slide on your keys, for example on this one. On a bait, it would be to take this O-ring off. So again, the functionality is exactly the same. I'm not sure if I can get this on camera. I'm going to try. This here is the part where I would actually pry it open and put my keys on. Right in there where I'm sticking my nail. You do not want to tie your line anywhere near this. On a bait, you'll turn this all the way around and you'll try and tie it on the solid end here where there's no openings. So it does open, but you're going to be tying your knot. So I'll just take this string for argument's sake here and just do a very, very simple one loop knot, nothing crazy. So hopefully this comes out a little bit better here. Now I've tied straight to that O-ring. Again, just a very simple knot. I'm on the closed end. You have probably 3/4 of this O-ring that's closed. If I was to tie, and hopefully I can get this on camera, there's the opening there. If I was to tie this near that opening, what can end up happening, and I'm going to try and demonstrate this, is I've actually put that line through the actual opening where I would put my keys onto the O-ring. That is very dangerous, because this sliding back and forth between there can actually potentially have your line just come completely off. And I'll see if I can demonstrate that. There's the line coming right out. So you're going to want this open end here, both these ends here open, and see if I can pry these open pretty well so you can actually see that. Tie on the opposite side, so just turn that open end away. Usually if you have a really good knot like a Palomar knot tied right here, you will not have a worry of that line coming back to this open end. Usually knots, and if you secure them with a little bit of water or saliva or even some knot glue, it will stay in this general area. That's where your knot's going to be safe. In this opened area here, very, very dangerous. Again, I just tied that through, and as the line potentially scuffs against this open area here, it will cut it. And you've got to be very, very careful with that. This is a tip I picked up many, many years ago. If I'm not using leaders, I tie directly to the O-ring, but I tie directly to the non-open area. And that knot will stay in that area, in that general zone there, without really shifting too much on you. And you will save a lot of time and effort and potentially missed fish if you're on that open end here and it's constantly rubbing against your line and potentially even cutting it. So I hope this tip helped, guys. Try it. Try and follow some of these rules. And again, this is just stuff I picked up over the last 21 years of fishing. But when you look at stuff and you're tying stuff on, kind of see, I wonder, this kind of open here and it's got some jagged edges. Do I really want to tie my line near there? As you flip the O-ring around, you'll see, hey, this is a pretty good spot here, and I've got 3/4, again, almost maybe more than 3/4 of this O-ring to tie a solid knot to. That will not jeopardize your line from being cut. So again, I hope this tip helps. See you next time, guys.